Hey, can I ask the first question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, hold on. I meant help coming.
Okay. So you had a really good day on Saturday. What feelings do you feel, and what do you do to keep yourself from not getting too comfortable after making two very big plays that you made?
I think it's a understanding of the process that, we going into a new week every week. What I did last week holds no weight this week, won't affect what goes on this week. So that's it, really.
You ain't in my. You got it.
Okay. Going against Ole Miss, I know the season opener was a big deal because it was the first game of the year, but now going to the SEC, does it feel different?
Not really.
But how easy will it be for you guys to all get up for this game?
I say we're preparing the same. We understand this team's coming in here to try to beat us. So whatever preparation we're taking to stop that is, what we're doing. I don't think we're trying to overcomplicate it or, undermine them or overmine them. We're just, it's just another week.
What's the biggest challenge from watching film on Ole Miss that you see from defending that type of offense?
I would say the tempo and getting away from the holding calls.
Brad said you guys didn't feel satisfied with how you played last week. Why is that?
I would say we allowed too many yards. We had a few defensive errors. Probably public didn't see it, but it's some screws we know we could tighten.
Steven, you obviously had a big game, but even last year you really kind of impressed as kind of this edge rusher. What do you think about your game has allowed you to have success early in your career so far, kind of getting after the passer?
I would say just my motor. I try to stay 150%, the whole time. So my teammates see me come on the field, I just want them to know somebody's going to get to the quarterback. Somebody's going to get there.
Do you think your size, you're not a little undersized for that position. Do you think that helps you in some of these pass rushes, getting under tackles' pads and whatnot?
I could say that, just naturally being lower, but, working to get lower on top of naturally being lower helps.
We tend to think of you as kind of a pass rush specialist right now, but you made a couple of plays in coverage there Saturday too. Have you kind of added that? You think?
Yes, sir. Coming in to my freshman year, I had never played linebacker, so coming into the system, hook, curl, flat, skiff, I had zero clue what that was, so it was a challenge. But going over the summer, spring, I'm comfortable with the playbook to go out there on first and second down and get some coverage reps.
Coach White said you had a good example set for you there from De'Eric in the past. Did you soak up any of that from him?
Man, our this last year's team, regardless of our record, they taught me so much in terms of, staying poised, not letting the media get to your head, and just I'm a sophomore, we got some freshmen, so they're picking up stuff off of me, so it's just, a cycle of, give out what you want to receive. JJ, Derek, Eric, all those guys, they didn't talk the most. They led by a great example, and I think I'm more vocal than them a little bit, so I picked up on it.
Appreciate it.
Last year?
Yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable, putting some weight on and been playing that position for 2 years now, so I feel like I know the ins and outs about that linebacker spot, and I can help the younger guys around me too.
What are the benefits of that? You feel like you're playing faster, just
trusting myself, trusting my eyes, trusting my keys, and just playing faster and just exploding and just running to the ball, really.
Yeah, this will be your third time, I think, playing against Ole Miss, is that right?
Yeah.
What did you learn from those two games previously, and what are you maybe telling some guys who weren't on this defense here recently, like what to expect going up against this offense?
I just told them that tempo, the tempo is going to be huge because not a lot of teams want that tempo like they do, and they do a good job running that tempo. So I told them they got to get their eyes to the sideline, get our singles, and just get ready to line up and just play ball.
Were you surprised at all when you saw the stat sheet from Saturday?
A little bit, but I knew I was playing well. I could feel it. I felt it going into the game, right on the first snap. I knew it was going to be a good game for me.
What do you remember about last year's matchup with Ole Miss, and does any of that apply to this time around?
Yeah, I feel like we matched up pretty well with them. Their offense, I feel like Coach White did a great job game planning for us to go out there and just play freely and fast. And we're gonna do the same thing this year.
What have you told some of these younger guys and some of the transfers about SEC play?
Yeah, I told them it's a lot of fun. It's the environment is a lot of fun. You know, there's gonna be our stadium's gonna be packed out this Saturday, and it's gonna be fun. And, you know, yeah.
Coach, what did you guys just learn about this defense as a whole for the first game?
We just learn. We just gotta keep getting better every day. You know, you keep being physical. I feel like we was pretty physical on Saturday. We just gotta keep building off that, and we just gotta fix a little thing in the pass game. And in the fourth quarter, we can't just take our foot off the gas. We gotta keep going.
Coach White told us that he thought you guys were outstanding in the one-score game situation. As soon as it went to two, though, a couple of times,
Yeah.
a little bit of letdown.
Yeah, we just gotta keep going. When we up, man, we can't just relax. You know what I'm saying? It could be a long. It was a long game, but we just can't relax. We gotta keep going and keep putting our foot on the net.
When you say you guys took your foot off the gas in the fourth quarter, was that more fatigue, do you think, or just lack of communication?
I just think it was just we were just relaxed. I think we was too relaxed, and I ain't really like that either. I think we were just relaxed as a defense as a whole, and we just can't have that happen in the SEC play.
What is it about you guys that had success against Ole Miss, maybe in a way that other teams in this league haven't? What do you think that is?
I think Coach White does a great job with the game plan. You know, he knows them. He watches a lot of film. We watch a lot of film on them, and he makes a lot of good calls for us and put us in the right position to make plays.
The sun came out a lot, didn't it?
Can we switch? Can we rotate a different way?
The sun's
Or actually, it's fine.
This is actually better in your favor. Okay.
Actually, if we can scoot like this way a little bit, so get. All right, that's perfect. All right, I'll back up for y'all. All right.
Do you think you will have ever played in a game with the kind of tempo you're going to see Saturday?
I actually have. So Colorado State, we did an 11-play tempo drive. I'm not sure if you ever seen Colorado State's elevation, but that was probably the worst it has ever been. So Ole Miss, it's not nothing I've never seen before, but it's something that we definitely got to prepare for.
What do you see on their tape when you guys have put on film to prep for this matchup?
I see a bunch of good alignment, and then so I'm excited to go against them. Number 71 is good, 50 is good, and then I'm just excited for this matchup.
Coach talked about, everyone wants to see pressures, but, keep it contained, get in the backfield, but don't let him get out. So how are you all kind of preparing to, kind of keep the gap integrity and be sure he doesn't go crazy while keeping the pressure up?
With Ole Miss being a huge RPO team, we definitely have to keep him in the pocket, and then we got to convert faster, definitely faster than what we did last week. And then so we're prepping for it, and I'm just excited.
What about the emphasis? Because there will probably be some times where the guys at the back end have to cover a little bit longer than they're used to, or you all are going to have to get upfield quicker than normal. So how are you all kind of being sure everyone's got to kind of be up a tick and be ready for a little bit of a longer slog of a game?
For that, we really just gotta trust our brothers, and then after the game, I'm after practice. All we do is just run back and forth. We didn't do it as much today, but the past few days, we just been conditioned just to practice it.
Are you guys putting more of an emphasis in the trenches on power on power, or do you kind of shift the focus since they're bigger to quickness and technique?
Well, you can only do power so much before you get tired, and then when you get tired, especially against a tempo team, it's not gonna look good. So I say a lot of it is finesse, and then just choosing sides, because you're not trying to run through somebody who's 350 pounds for 70 snaps.
What do your teammates tell you about last year's game, if anything at all?
I really asked them much about it. I truly haven't asked them about it. I just watched the film from last year. Tempo, the first drive, killed them, but then after that, they really settled in. So then I think that's what we have to do. And then they converted only one time at a 10. So then on a third down, so we just got to do that the same thing we did last year.
What's the energy like around the building since it's a very early SEC test? Some of the guys like Alex and JQ are used to it, and some guys who this is their first kind of step into an SEC game.
I'll say the energy is about the same. I say SEC, MAC, Pac-10 or Pac-12 or whatever it was. I don't think it changes. Because we have a bar to set, and then we don't lower or raise it to nobody. We're always going to keep high.
David, in a matchup where you're playing kind of a spread offense, and you're all going to be in lighter boxes, players in the box. Do you feel like there's more responsibility or more importance in the defensive line to win their matchup?
Definitely with there being a lot of zone cut read and then just a lot of insert, we have to be really disciplined with just the gaps that we fill, and then it'll be first, then secondary. But we're gonna prime ourselves on our first gap.
And for you, just as a college football veteran who's played a lot of football games, just playing tempo offense, what's maybe one or two things you all have to do as a defense just to win?
First, second, third, and then get out of there.
Yeah.
Because anything after that, like, we're gonna get tired. Because like the dudes up front are 300, and like we're all like 320 pounds. So going 20 straight is definitely rough on anybody. Like I don't care like who you are.
Then like once they get a first down, then things can start to avalanche. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying that the key to stopping tempo is negatives.
Okay.
And then just be able to get them off on first, second,
Gotcha.
and then third is to finish them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
We're definitely ready for their offense for sure.
You know, you had that big interception last week, but there was a play later in the game where you felt like maybe you missed your coverage, let them get a little bit more. Brad said after the game that was the main thing you focused on. What does that really say about you as a player, that interception versus one bad play, you really focused on the bad play and wanted to improve that?
Yeah, man, I feel like nobody's perfect, but I feel like I can strive to be perfect, and I feel like that's a play I know I can make, and I got lazy with my technique and my eyes, and that's the result of that. So I know that I have to play with clean eyes every play, and that's the result I get if I don't play with clean eyes.
Is this kind of the ultimate clean eyes kind of opponent coming up this week?
Absolutely, man. Like, they have so many compliments for their routes, and like, man, they try to make this play look like the last play, and they have a great route tree as well. So you definitely have to play with clean eyes because, man, these guys, it's like Coach Clifton just kind of giving them the freedom, the freedom to do whatever they want to do and kind of showcase their skill set. So we definitely have to play with clean eyes and also just trust our technique as well.
What's the mental prep been like for guys? Because there might be some instances where you have to cover maybe a little bit longer than you expect so guys can get home, or, they can force that 3 and out.
Yeah, I just believe, man, the harder practice is, the easier the game will be. So I telling the guys, man, like, for example, Coach White having us doing extra conditioning because it's a tempo team. So the guys, some guys is not looking forward to the extra conditioning. I'm just telling them, man, we're training ourselves for Saturday. You're gonna be happy for it come Saturday. So that's my message to it.
JQ, arguably that was probably y'all's best game you all played as a defense maybe last year. What do you remember from that day, and what do you think worked so well for you all on that Saturday?
Man, I feel like, me personally, I felt like we was kind of on the road. It's kind of like we all we had. It's kind of like we was just like a family kind of. I'm depending on my teammates, and like we're in an opponent atmosphere. And it's like so I say, like, we kind of got to have that same mindset. Even though we're home, we're still like, if we all play together, we play as one team, as one family, we can do amazing things, man.
How do you recreate that rally around the family kind of at home, which usually you don't have to do that here
Right.
at home, but you guys have lost a few in a row?
Yeah, I would just say, man, just stand together. I feel like our coaching staff did a great job this offseason building that camaraderie and that family atmosphere around the team. So I feel like we're closer prior to my years prior here. I feel like we're closer at this point as a team than we have been in the past. And I feel like that's going to really help us out when we face adversity and get in critical moments.
This isn't your first SEC games, but this is a couple of your teammates' first time going into SEC play. So what's been the messaging from you and other guys to these guys realizing that this is going to be a different type of game than last week?
I just tell the guys, man, just trust your technique, because like you said, I've been there before. I know how it is, man. Nerve-wracking, kind of nervous. You playing a big SEC opponent, but everybody's human, man. If you go out here and trust your ability to make your plays and trust the coaching staff, man, you have ability to make plays just like the opposing team. So I just say, man, cut loose and if you make a mistake, it's okay. We all gonna make mistakes, but just cut loose and play full speed.
4 of these UK Ole Miss games in a row have come down to the final minute of play. Are you preparing yourself mentally that this 60-minute game?
Right, man. Just like last week, Toledo was a 60-minute game, and our coaches preached to us every game is going to be a dogfight. We got to come out ready to play. So I feel like, but that's like the question you asked me. I feel like I did a bad job with that last week, so I'm going to personally take a hold of that and take accountability of that. And this week, I really pride myself on playing a full 4 quarters of football. Thank you.
Tie over here in case anybody needs tie.
Into this one.
Just like I said before, just wanted to play physical, playing hard, getting in line, getting lined up, knowing my assignment, and just just executing, doing everything I need to do just to execute.
What do you remember about that game last year?
Obviously, I remember the tempo, how fast they went, but I just remember just a whole lot of guys just going out there having fun and just playing fast, playing physical, playing hard for one another, and I feel like that's what gave us the winning edge.
Obviously, their receivers are a big strength of their team. How do you guys clean up some of those explosive plays that were given up last week?
Just getting in our playbooks, knowing the call, getting along properly, and just everyone just doing their job and trying not to do too much. You know, I feel like we got a really good back end, and I trust our guys. They trust me, and we're going to get all that fixed up. And it's just game one jitters. You know how that gets.
JQ was talking about extra conditioning this week, man. You guys, how much has that played a role in getting you guys ready for this thing?
I feel like it's played a great role, but, like, no matter how many extra gassers or whatever we do, you know, it's not going to simulate how it's going to be on Saturday. So, but, I mean, you know, it's good just to get our lungs kind of just used to being tired and having to line up and, you know, play it down.
When you play an offense that can pass for over 300 and run for over 300, is that kind of like the ultimate test for safeties?
Yes, sir, in a way. But I feel like it's an ultimate test for the defense in general. You know, is if they're going to drop back, you know, it gives the D-line a lot of opportunities to go back there and get after the quarterback. So, I mean, I feel like it's a test for the defense, and, you know, they want to drop back and throw the ball. We all got to make them pay.
Everybody good? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Of course.